This is an assignment record. There are lots more changes here. You might have noticed that every type of record now has ownership and associate options at the top of the Details tab. For us, it's only on an assignment record that this becomes particularly relevant. The ownership will default to the person who created the record, but should then be set as the lead colleague on that piece of work. Other colleagues and their roles can be logged over here on the Associates menu. Now, these menus basically perform the same function as the drop-down menus we have on assignment records in our current version. Anyone who appears on either of these lists will see the assignment appear on their homepage. You'll notice that our assignment status codes have had to change. For example, open has now been replaced by assign active. Along the top, there are new role, planning, and tracking tabs. And it's from one of these that we'll ultimately be able to publish jobs directly to our website and retrieve applications directly into the database. But we'll cross that bridge later. Let's have a look at the Candidates tab. So there are a few big improvements here. Firstly, the included/excluded thing is easier to understand. You still include or exclude people from your list using this button. So that button crosses people out or uncrosses them. But you can now hide people or not with a simple tick box down here. Secondly, you can now see the title field, which means you can easily pick out doctors, professors, dames on your call list. Thirdly, you can filter your call list by dragging and dropping columns into this dark blue area. And then to unfilter, you just put the column back where it was. Fourthly, there's a new color coding option that we can use alongside rankings. The same rules apply though. If you use a color code, then you just have to explain what it means in the comments box, back on the Details tab. Finally, there are some new preview functions up here that allow you to browse through records in more detail, one at a time, even updating them as you go if you want. Now for a big change. Contact logs have been replaced by activity logs. If you want to log something, then you now click on New Activity, and it'll ask you to define whether it's just a general note, which they call a journal, or an email, or a call, or something else. A general activity log and a call log look pretty familiar. There's still the short summary line and the bigger box. We still log information in the same way we always have. You can record recommendations on this new tab up here. An email activity log is much better though. Firstly, it pulls your signature in now from Outlook. Then, once you've specified what email address you want to use, and selected any attachment you want to include, it allows you to save the log and send the email with just one click of this button. It's a much simpler process. The recommendations report and the client update call report can be created from the Candidates tab still. You click on the Reports button, but make sure it's the one down here, not the one at the top of the screen. Select the report you want and then press Run. Exporting a table for a review document is a little different. Firstly, you'll see that there's no Go-To menu on the right-hand side of the screen where you could previously open your selected records. Instead, you have to use the Go-To menu here. But once you've got the list of people open and highlighted everyone, it's the same process as with the other two. You click on the Reports button, making sure it's the one here, not the one at the top of the screen. You find the report you want and you click run. Unfortunately, we no longer have the option to select and copy the attachments for multiple people at the same time. So if you highlight a bunch of people on a list, click on the attachments option, you can still see all the attachments, but the toolbar's disappeared. That's going to be a bit inconvenient for when it comes to making CV packs, and I flagged that up to Dillastone. There is a workaround, and I'll explain that to everyone in more detail soon. It's not ideal, but we're just going to have to live with it and convince them to reintroduce the functionality in the next upgrade. Finally, heading back to the Candidates tab, the way you place a candidate is now with the handshake icon. Unfortunately, the pop fizz way sound effect has been retired, so I guess we'll just have to impersonate that as best we can.